Saturday Showdown. Life Esports versus D Plus Kia.
It doesn't matter. It still works. You know, you're going to close that gap. The low range isn't going to be an issue. There's so much insane keep away.
T1 drafts that look like they suit them, and that is absolutely fantastic. Let's dive onto the Rift for game number 1 of the Telecom War.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. I am very much looking forward to going and playing more of it this evening.
Towards this top lane, but Perfect is playing very respectfully here.
Yeah, and Ono looks like he's going to go in for a bit of an invade. We'll see whether he can actually secure a blue buff, because that could really put Pyosik behind.
Yeah.
Just get some vision down. Understands the value of protecting the jungle. I don't think Ono knows that a ward went into that brush there either, as we're going to just do the same thing. It's a bit of a do-si-do.
But the winner of this is Zeus, who's pulling the Renekton, you know, pushing the wave in is, okay, here we go.
Yeah, Pyosik fighting against Ona here, who does manage to steal this one away. There's a lightning rush over. The stun comes out immediately, though, from Perfect, and Pyosik going to get smashed into the ground. The flash out from Ona as well, as now Zeus is in an extraordinarily uncomfortable position. Seismic shove is going to miss, and oh my goodness, is it going to work? The turret! Oh, he was almost out of there.
Almost out of there, but it is going to be a 1-for-1 in the end.
And Zeus still only level 4. Ona's going to move around, though, and there's the Vault Breaker to get Pyosik out.
I mean, Ona's just crash. But he is losing more and more farm, is completely zoned off. You've got to make this work, Pyosik. 3-6 is going to be tough.
Yep, Slicing Maelstrom is going to be used on the minion wave, and now Perfect just trying to get towards it, wants to get the mana, wants to get the experience, as Ona was tanking this one up. We've got dives everywhere, though, as Beryl goes in and straight up whiffs. That's going to be the crash down from Carrier to try and buy some space, and Gumayushi should be falling here somehow. It almost worked, but it is going to be the 1-for-2. And T1 just kind of winning everywhere.
Even with Pyosik ulting him, he can just then turn on the stuns and say no.
Right now, there's a Magnet Storm and a Bullet Time, and Feather Storm does need to be used. In comes Ona, though, as that's Beryl almost surviving. Deft also being able to get a fair bit of damage back, as now BDD throws down the wall. Carrier going to knock him off. That's going to be so much damage onto this Talia. And Seismic Shove is going to miss. BDD has to flash to get out after being the one theoretically engaging.
Just does so much damage. Carrier is set up for this. It's the easiest combo in the book. Meanwhile,
yep, Seismic Shove is going to be utilized here. The Renekton-Talia combination, some Shuriman friends are going to be able to take down the little Pikachu guy, as T1 now looking to try and answer, but Beryl pretty slippery. Does have Blast Cone at the ready, and Faker still just taking plates.
He is going to commit the teleport. This will be seen by the wave, and Perfect still has his, but they're not going to be able to contest the dragon. He will not be teleporting to the opposite side of the map here post 10 minutes. Just head back to the top lane instead.
Well, Pyosik really wants to kill Gumayushi, and he is just going to press the button and go for it. The quickness is down as well. Gumayushi is extraordinarily dead. That kill is going to go over to Deft at the same time, and so KT. So that is going to be T1 with a big advantage as far as getting this push happening around the map, and they already have so much lane control. It's going to mean that if BDD does... Oh, never mind. Speaking of BDD, they do get the shove onto Beryl underneath the turret with the Emperor's Divide. Nicely done there from Faker.
Okay, we'll see something before that.
Yep, Perfect is just going to pre-dominance and try and keep himself alive, and it ain't going to work at all. Zeus presses his R button and just zaps him down. And BDD's coming down as well. Should mean that at least the turret is going to be taken. You can see the bottom lane sort of moving back in, but this just leaves Perfect up and available once again. No Dominus this time. Heroic Charge going to come forward. I've seen this movie before. This time it's going to have a different ending. As plates just fell down, I really am intrigued as to whether or not, KT can make it work, as I've seen this on the top side of the map. It's going to happen once again as there's the flat forward from Perfect. He avoids the Emperor's Divide, and then Pyosik just goes through it. Vault Breaker comes down, but it's not going to be enough. Carrier is going to pay for his sins, but he flashes out of the way. Bullet time to celebrate, and T1 are going to survive.
It's so hard to get in on this comp now with Owner just frontlining.
Yeah, and Zeus on a flank angle as well, looking to try and catch this Renekton, making his way forward. He's spotted on that control ward, and there we go. Perfect still going to get tagged with the Shuriken, and Faker comes down. Renekton is very much going to die. It's just whether or not KT can find anything as a result of it, and the answer is going to be maybe mid lane out of turret, and I think... Okay, never mind. T1 able to get back here in time. So that means the KT get nothing.
Chip away at this and get some control of the river back. Perfect has TP in 10 seconds.
Oh,
too late.
This dragon is still up and available. Faker is going to go golden, but there's the quickness. The bullet time is gigantic, though. And even Faker's sweep is going to work beautifully. Now Def, yes, he pressed the Feather Storm, but he comes down into hell once again. And T1 are going to wipe the map of KT. And Perfect, he just respawned. He's like, where did my friends go? And this is the T1 that we grew to expect, that we haven't seen for the last couple of weeks. They are going to be able to break open the base here on the bottom side of the map. The rest of T1, they're on the map. They're all here. They're ready to start off this Baron. And it is not going to last very long. KT, if they're going to do anything, they need to go in and try and fight this immediately. But Perfect was back home. There was no way for them to do anything about it.
And then just be able to kite back easily, but so far, pretty heroic defense from KT.
Yep, and now we've got Faker having to use that Zhonya's once again. Ona taking a lot of damages. There's the bullet time. That's going to get the doubles. And Zeus just cleans up the back line. Seismic Shove does nothing. Emperor's Divide does everything. And T1 will cleanly ace KT. They were very patient with that play, but this is going to be the last one of the game. Surgical from T1 here in game number 1, and some well-needed revenge for them in the telecom war. But the first thing needs to be adjusted, and the first thing was a Renekton pick, and that needs to just be eliminated.
And I do think it is relatively risky, but they're going to do it anyway.
Oh, that's the Lee Sin.
It's happening.
Oh, thank goodness. This is what I've been calling for. I don't know, like, it wouldn't have been better than the Poppy in the last game. Ona was absolutely incredible, and I ate my words on that one. Interested to see whether KT can bounce back after a tough loss. Let's jump into the rift for game number 2.
He also heals himself, so
you just build your own tank. And Ivan literally does that, because Daisy's kind of a tank. So that's pretty cool.
I didn't see if he was playing Renekton Toy, but it would be fitting if you're doing a build a tank situation.
Faker throwing some boulders around and actually able to dodge as Beryl takes a turret shot as Deft is dropping the beat. Beryl's still actually able to keep himself alive because, of course, Eclipse and Aftershock are a broken combination. Pawns Jace as well. I mean, he's here in the crowd, one of our better mid-Jace players. As Pyoshik trying to find a root caller onto Faker, and not too much is going to come of it. And Ona coming down towards that bottom side. Let's see whether they can survive this, as Ona takes a fair bit of damage, but also dishes back a lot as well with that Tempest. And yep, just presses a button, and Ona is going to ignore it.
He made his feet cold, and then he kept killing the frogs.
Well, Ona is going to look for him. Root Caller does come down, and there is the Weaver's Wall. Flash out from Pyoshik, but Faker follows him immediately. Now BDD is going to turn up, and there's the culling. Ona still level 5, so doesn't have the kick. And meanwhile, Zeus and Perfect are fighting. The flash out, but the flash in. First blood for BDD, and Perfect follows up immediately. That's 3 kills. And is it going to be 3 games?
I mean, it's looking more likely after this moment. Don't count T1's chances out just yet, but I mean, it looked really silly for the first part of this as Guma is hanging around. As well, some extra plate gold for the Seraphine. See the gold graph showing.
Yeah, Encore is going to come on through here as Ona turns up. Carrier almost dies, actually, before it even happens. As Beryl, he's under the turret, and he's going to die. That means the Deft is also really dead, but at least they get one. Well, there's that. Shenanigans.
It's like times Zenith bladed into turret range. It's like 17.
Yeah, and we need the percentage as well. Oh, as Faker is just dead. Yeah, there's the flash forward, gets the double tap, and BDD, he's on a killing spree. He is too big right now.
And you know, to pew-pew him to death.
Yeah.
You called him out of the game.
All right, Daisy's coming out, but Ona's coming in. And Perfect going to find the stun. They're still going to go for this one. There's the knockup. Thanks, Daisy. And out goes Ona. Let's see whether he can keep himself alive, though, because Daisy's still in amongst it. The root caller helping the Renekton get in. Another Zenith blade. Where's the turret range? Where's Gumushi's health bar? My goodness, the damage to come out from... That's just a lost chapter.
Just a
what
lost
the heck?
Chapter in a Torrens ring.
What the...
But
what?
It's a ton of damage. Guma's just super squishy, and I
guess that's it. Yeah.
I mean, fairly disastrous down there. Watch this solo kill as he just dashes in before the rocks can be placed. It's just a really proactive play by BDD.
They were the girls from our picture-in-picture before. As another Encore going to come in as Carrier's going to get solar flared as well. There's a Zenith blade from Carrier one more time. Sorry, from Beryl one more time as Faker is once again fighting BDD. This time the shove into the rocks is going to come on through. He's playing with fire here as Ona comes on over, but Pyosik in perfect position. Sonic Wave not going to find the mark. And now T1 trying to rotate more friends over here to try and help out the mid lane. There's the Weaver's Wall as PDD. He's got the Trigger Siege shield. He just turns around and kills Faker. There's the kick flash as Pyosik is going to flash to get back out once again as Ona. One more turret shot and he's going to die, but that's not going to come on through. And now Deft is going to need to turn up. There is going to be the kill onto Zeus. And now Perfect comes in at the same time. Gumayusi, oh dear. Let's see whether he can get himself out of this one. Perfect is going to have a slice and or dice coming up relatively soon. His flash is also only a couple of seconds away. The flash comes through from Gumayusi though. That is going to send them out of there.
Poor. Yeah. He got there in the end, but
poor Bristle.
Owner is in trouble.
Oh, this is live. Okay, yeah, Daisy's going to get another knockup as Perfect comes on in. That is going to be the kickback, and that should be enough to disengage. But he has to get the heck out of here. That is going to be a Hextech Drake. It's
going to take Ivern a million years to get that dragon, but...
yeah, very true. All right, Perfect is just flashing forward. This guy is angry. And now Gumayusi completely out of mana, but did manage to throw down the Dawning Shadow at least. And should be able to walk this one off. So
greedy what T1 did there, and they get punished again.
How this one's going to go as the teleport in. BDD looking for Gumayusi, has to flash. Double TPs. Means that now T1 find themselves a little bit late to their own party, and it's going to be the outer turret taken. KT now grouped up, ready to go for this dragon as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd be starting that dragon if I were you, Guma. KT are taking control.
Oh, perfect. He wants more. Strybreaker going to come on through there as he's doing a lot of damage. And this Renekton, way less anemic than the other one.
Yeah, he's been fed. This is going to be a TP top for Zeus. They're going to try to push mid at the same time.
There's the flash forward as Faker's going to get interrupted. No riding on the wall for you, sir. And the Solar Flare is going to find the sweet spot. That is an interruption, but PDD is just going to zap him down. And Faker finds himself 0 and 4, unfortunately. And KT, they're going to put Perfect in the bottom lane.
Are just not going to fall prey to T1 being like, I get something cross map. They're just not going to let them have anything. BDD?
Yeah, he's going to be in a whole host of trouble. The Dawning Shadow is even going to help out. And the turret loses interest in stopping T1 here. So KT will be able to answer with a dragon.
They finally got him.
Yeah. Infernal Soul as well this game. That's an exciting one.
This dragon, I feel like, might be one of the highest value.
The more value they're going to get is, okay, Beryl could find himself in a rough spot, but he's going in! There's a turret! He has a Zenith Blade, and he's getting under there, and he's surviving, for goodness sake! That was way too long to be alive, as now Deft will finally turn up. Speeds himself through here. Perfect is now going to find his entranceway, but KT have already lost one. Seismic Shove is going to knock back the Renekton, and he could be the next little pickup here as they take down the turret. Perfect is going to be alive. He is much less squishy than he was in game number 1. Has another Seismic Shove. This time, he is definitely dead. The Encore! And Deft is able to help take down Ona. Gumayusi follows immediately as Deft... I mean, the Seraphine is doing ridiculous work. He does die. T1 win the fight. But you can see Ona looking for an opportunity. I don't think he's going to be able to steal away this Drake. That is going to be the sole point picked up by KT. Now, the Weaver's Wall comes in. Glacial Prison is used. And KT are going to take the Drake and then look for a flash play onto Ona. That is a miss, though, unfortunately. There is now Perfect looks for the pickoff, and Senna is just dead. Seismic Shove used defensively, that is decent peel, but now the culling comes in. The Redemption layered on top. The teleport flank angle, and there is the Encore. Zeus going to be taken out. Deft is answered though. Carrier going down very low, and KT, they still have their 80 carry because it's BDD.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of like accidental funnelution, okay?
And he's going to play around it as best he can. Q going to connect there onto Pyosik, who's just going to back off. Big shield eruption there with the Shock Blast. Reapplication of the Trigger Siege shield, and then, like, it's just kind of ridiculous. But T1, yeah, looking for this one. Deft realizing that that wall is in a rough position. Let's see whether they can keep themselves alive. Is Perfect? You are just dead, my friend. The rest of your team were not there.
Peculiar how KT keep like having the perfect angle to start Baron and having the choke point control, get set up brushes, and then just go chase a Sejuani. Just put up the brushes, use your setup.
Oh no. Now just going to be chased out by Beryl. There's a Weaver's Wall as Beryl's getting amongst it, going to stun him up here as the high note is so good. Solar Flare going to connect onto Owner as well. Remember, he does have a GA, so he can keep himself alive for a lot longer.
What if you were a champion with CC, shields, a little bit of healing, and also a bunch of damage?
Yeah.
Would you be Seraphine? I think you would be in this game.
Huh, yeah.
It's actually crazy. All right, now they're going to start the Baron. T1 all around them.
Yeah, there's a seismic shove, going to connect onto Perfect. Down to 50%, the Shock Blast is not going to land as Owner. Can he be the hero? He gets it, he steals it! And he is going to go down to the GA. Can they get themselves out alive, though? That's the question. Even Owner is able to survive, but Gumayusi's dead. The Jace is dead as well. There is not a lot of damage left in this composition. And the kick out onto Pyoshik there. Deft is probably going to have the damage if he can actually land a few of these buttons. The smite comes in, and there it goes. Surround sound means that he's just never going to be able to touch the Seraphine, and even though the Baron was picked up here by T1, it's likely that KT can still do some big damage to this base.
I mean, Zeus, he did kill a lot of shields in that fight, but otherwise not able to do a whole lot. Faker alone to defend is going to be so difficult. Guma not really an AD carry here. They have Baron buff minions.
Oh, another Solar Flare really nailed the minion as Faker's going to go golden. Seismic Shove connected in the meantime. That looked pretty good, but Faker is still dead. And Daisy, she's just wandering around. Carrier going the wrong direction, throws an ulti to Narnia, and he will be taken down. It's BDD collecting his 8th of the game as Gumayusi slinks into the mist, but he might want to stay there as this game is over. KT roaring back into the series. It would not be a telecom war without 3 games.
All the healing, all the oppression, and that is exactly what we got in this second game. So a complete 180, and this really hit the mark. It was a risky draft, but damn, did it pay off.
There's quite a few.
Mid Jace and top Mordekaiser. Pretty obvious here.
Yeah, a bit of pushing power. Let's see whether they stick to as much lane pressure as possible. Yeah, there it is. The Lux is going to come in.
To grab this Lux, but it feels so terrible later on. I mean, also, like, she could use the Singularity to see in the bushes. I guess that's
true.
Yeah,
there we go. Very interested in seeing what Perfect is going to look like on this Mordekaiser as well. Once again, it's the Ivan for Pyoshik. See how he goes as we jump into the Rift for game 3.
You know, Zeus isn't there, for example, on a Dragon fight. There is no real front line here. And Faker can offer a lot of damage back with the Gatling gun. Remember, this is nerfed Corki.
Deft, I don't know whether you want to be there, buddy. Well, there's the Singularity going to come on through, and there is the Peacemaker as well. Not looking very peaceful, as Deft is going to start drinking a potion very early. And it's kind of interesting, right? Because Pyoshik spends some time in North America. I feel like North America actually plays a bunch more Ivan than we do here in the LCK, as Deft is just looking to try and stop Owner from being annoying. But he's still going to take a spear for his troubles.
And this does get BD and Faker involved as well briefly. And nothing really comes of this, just a Gromp delay. But now Deft is not able to farm the experience. Let's try in mid.
Well, Pyoshik going to come on over. Let's see what they can actually get done here. The flash has to be burnt. Faker going to get himself out of there as now T1 being landed. And Deft is just continuing to have the most horrible time. The low range of this Zeri, a huge problem. And yeah, this is probably one of the best lanes that Gumayusi Carrier have played together.
Because there's that power trough as BDD.
Whoa, he's just flashing in, looking for Faker here. Can he find the autos? And there's the last one. Picks it up, doesn't die to the turret. No. It's 18 to 50. It's kind of absurd. Owner going to move in, look for the spear onto BDD. Is Pyoshik going to need to shield him? BDD just able to get the kill. Still, it's answered this time, as the jungle is now facing off Pyoshik without too much firepower.
The kill goes over to a Nidalee. He uses gold better than an Ivern would have as well. Watch this again.
Yeah, he's like, give me the shield, give me the shield.
Yeah, give me the shield, give me the bush. And down he goes. This is the first pick. I don't know if we'll get the second skirmish. Probably not.
나이스.
Yep.
진짜 미쳤다 형. 쉴드 한 번만 더.
You're so good. You're insane, basically. And then this play, the shield this time not quite enough to stop the Nidalee from killing him. I mean, okay.
Speaking of terrible times, to the skies is Faker. Yeah, hands off keyboard here.
It's okay, they've got a backup AD carry in mid. It doesn't matter that this area isn't real.
We need to get to New Zealand. The old memes is okay. Pyoshik coming on in as Owner does proc the Conqueror here, as now Carrier is looking to fight his old friend. Going to miss that one a lot though, as there's the flash out from Carrier, realizing that there's a lot of enemies coming. Owner taking a fair bit of damage here at the same time as Daisy getting amongst it.
And Deft, I mean, he is still massively behind. Brush makes this very frustrating, so maybe not quite.
Yeah. Oh god, all of the poke coming in. One more auto would have done it. There's a trap in the brush. Man, the brushes are actually making it more frustrating for KT, and they're being built by their jungler. And so that is 2 apiece here. KT looking to try and lock down their third. And, oh, I thought that spear was actually going to be able to pick that one up. But good smite there from Gyoshik.
You can see T1 just aren't confident to fight this right now. They don't have any vision.
Oh, okay, Light Binding does come on in. Peacemaker down as well as he's just dead. The final spark is going to be exactly that. And Beryl, this is the power of the poke composition. As the net not going to connect onto the Zeri and Ona. Now looking for BDD. I don't know about that one, as BDD is very scary. That Shock Blast, my god, the damage. That is a 3 kills Jace. You cannot be here as, okay, there is the flash away from the Light Binding.
And we're starting part 2, this time on the Herald, but this time T1 a lot more control than they had the last.
Yep, Ace and Hole going to come on through as there is the depth charge onto the Nidalee. He's burning, but so's Beryl, and there's Faker picking up his first kill. T1 now with a big advantage, but not necessarily in the health bars. Still, the Rift Herald should be secured here.
That's some extra burst damage as well.
Yeah, Shirelli is coming in relatively soon as there's some redemption damage, and the flash forward from Beryl. Gumayushi, he does not have his flash available. Root Caller comes down, there's the hook. BDD's like, give me my 4th, and he'll be able to pick that one up. Deft, as here in the mid lane, some plants go up, so does Daisy, and Beryl, he's on the prowl once again. Gumayushi gonna be in trouble here as Perfect is just gonna put him into the death realm. What are you gonna do about it? And the answer is die. And then a whole bunch of stats now go over to this Mordekaiser. Hooks connecting, but the final spark is just going to end them. The all-out comes through from Zeus, and now the flash forward Deft smells blood in the water and wants to get some sort of kill here as Zeus getting himself out. BDD presses W, but I don't know whether they're going to be able to quite find it as finally the kill comes in. The answer's there from KT. The kills are even. It's a bloodbath, but I don't even necessarily know who's in the best position to win. Before just the Zeal. As, all right, Finding going to not necessarily find the target as Carrier just explodes. Beryl's going to be traded. But now BDD, he's on the prowl. The all-out angle is going to be there for Zeus, and he drags the Jace into the team. Gorgeously played from the man in the top lane, and that is going to give T1 the edge.
4/5 of the health bar of owner is also gone. As watch this.
제이스 보신다?
A wraparound.
제이스. 야, 모델 궁극을 다 있어,
Beautiful
조심해.
angle.
So clean.
Yeah.
Because trying to set up an engage or a pick is so challenging.
Oh, Carrier going to be able to find a bit of a combo. There's the spear to land as well. Beryl is just dead. They find the pick. They set up the vision, and they're going to look for a Baron off the back end of it. Splash available. Can he be the hero is the question. The answer's no. Zeus just said, get out of here. The Baron's going to be secured. Daisy's going to be taken down first. Gyoshik is destroyed, and T1 just snowball the fight so beautifully. Yes, Perfect is able to kill a Lux, but I think Carrier did his job this game. Faker going to be able to lock down that kill. It's now 12-8. The gold lead is skyrocketing. Hook is going to miss here as T1 are just going to bear down on this inhibitor. Zeus says thanks for the gap closed as Perfect's going to pull him in. That is Beryl dead for the 7th time this game. And KT just looking like there is absolutely nothing that they can do. We praised them for the draft, but things went so wrong in the early game. There was no way for them to utilize it in any way, shape, or form. Nexus turret's going down. T1 going to get some revenge against KT. They're going to move to 4th place in the LCK, and they're going to send KT to 7th with a victory here. Deft is trying to kite his way out of this one, but he's not going to be able to. He wanted to kite his way out of the early game. This is the way that he gets out of it, and it's via defeat at the hands of T1.
Twice about picking Zeri when the Caitlyn Lux lane is up, because it just did not look like Deft and Beryl could do anything here. And the Nautilus pick.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POG interview translation, joined by Owner and Carrier on the side of T1, who just took KT Roaster down in the telecom war. Congratulations!
네, 오너 선수 KT에게 1라운드
Owner.
복수를 제대로 해줬습니다. 승리가
You got your revenge against KT from round 1. How do you feel?
끊어서 다행이라고 생각을 하고 있고 또 오랜만에
I'm just so relieved that we're able to end our losing streak and being able to get POG after a long time. It makes me feel great. And Carrie, how do you feel? I'm so happy to win against KT. I feel like I almost forgot about how it feels to win, so I'm so glad that we're able to secure today's victory. And Carria, you came out on top in a close 3-game series, so what did KT give you the most trouble with? KT's bot duo happens to be very good at the game, and I think we just try to make sure that they don't get ahead and try to deny them as much as possible. And Owner, during the period of your losing streak, Koma said that practice is going well, but the result isn't showing. So what is something that you guys focused on improving to perform better on stage? I feel like we all have individual skills and abilities, and we are all skilled players, so honestly we just really wanted to trust and have faith in each other and practice as normally. And this was your first time playing in patch 14.14, and it looked like you guys are super prepared for your draft, so what was the process like? Compared to the previous patch, there are a lot of changes in the champions, but the overall matchups are actually pretty similar in the end. So I think we really try to focus on what's good in the bot lane and try to pick out all the good picks in the bot lane. And Owner, in Game 1, you guys started... Well, actually, Game 1 started with your Poppy and ended with your Poppy. Your early game setup was on point. You took care of all the top dives and took all the grubs. Walk us through how you set up. You know, this was a pick that we really wanted to set up so that we can get some early advantages. And so, whether we had to dive or cover and counter the top dive, I think we really tried to make sure that we don't get behind. So what was the feedback after Game 2? After the loss in the grub fight, I feel like it just really snowballed really fast. So instead of any specific feedback, we just really wanted to focus on winning Game 3 and just play better. And Carria, in Game 3, despite the Jace being a big threat early, you guys evened out on global gold. So what was the game plan? You know, in the end, we just really told ourselves we need to be responsible and accountable for our own plays. So we just tried to make sure that we maintain our plays and not get behind Jace. And in Game 3, we also got the Guma Carria Duo Classic, the Caitlyn Lux. And against Seri Nautilus, you really can't waste a lot of time. So what was your game plan? I feel like... Yeah, honestly, Caitlyn Lux... Against Caitlyn Lux, you can't really utilize Ivern very well, and I feel like the enemy probably kind of forgot about this potential of us playing this comp, so I think it just really worked well on them. So, it looks like this is such a classic. Is your classic comp simply timeless? Yeah, it happens to do really well with the 9-win and 1 loss, so I guess you could say that. And Carria, you have added 2 more champions to your pool this summer. You've played 15 unique champions so far, so is there any more left? Honestly, I didn't really realize that I played that many different champions, so yeah, I don't know if there's any more left. But we're certainly looking forward to more unique picks. And Carria, it looks like we caught you be a little disappointed that it wasn't a unanimous POG vote with the 2 jungle votes. Well, first of all, just given that honestly Owner got 2 votes, although he did really well, but you know, I also was a little hopeful that it would be unanimous because I did play well. What are your thoughts, Owner?
다음에는 또
You know,
기회가 있을
Korea
거라고
did
믿기
expect
때문에,
that unanimous
다음을
votes.
기약하면 좋겠습니다.
So what a bummer that he didn't get that, but I'm sure he'll have another opportunity in the future to get that unanimous POG. Now that T1 has put an end to the losing streak, it's time to stack some wins. So what can the fans expect from you? Any shout out for them, owner?
그리고 또 연승을 할 수
Now
있도록
that we
노력 많이 할 테니까
ended the losing streak,
팬분들도 열심히
we really want
응원해주시면
to put in our best and everything to start a winning streak. So thank you so much for your support. And Korea, now that we have put an end to the losing streak, I want to make sure that we start our winning streak and keep it up. Thank you so much for your support as well. And that's the end of the interview from owner and Korea, and back to the space. Thank you.